All right, I'm trying to finish chapter 38. Let's try to just get through these notes. I might have to stay a little longer and do another video as I'm taking too long, sorry. 38:16. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? We ain't even explored 90% of it, have we? Hell might be down there. We ain't even gotten down there. We all know that Megalodon's down there too. So, yeah. Here's the note. The springs of the sea were not discovered until AD 1910, which means the author of the book of Job in 1800 BC was 27 centuries ahead of modern science. Yeah. Well, I find most scientists dumb. I mean, in every movie, they make every scientist just usually gets eaten by a shark immediately in the movie. So I have no respect for scientists regardless because I watch movies and I see the pattern. The scientist usually gets his face ripped off in the first 10 seconds. So you guys have failed with your brainwashing there. I have no respect for science or evolution because you guys made all the movies to where the scientist always gets wiped out. So you guys failed. I don't care about any of the scientists. You guys are idiots. So, all right. There's one more note on 16. Not even Dr. Charles Beebe, 1939. You're not as smart as Beebe. Walked in the search of the depth. In 1969, Walsh touched down at 30,000 feet below sea level in a submarine exploring the Mariana Trench. He found fish at that level living in temperatures of 38 degrees. Do you think he got out and walked around? Ha! Right. What does that tell you there? And that's probably conspiracy, you know. But that's actually what they say in that movie Megalodon. I know I'm joking about Jason Statham, but in that movie, I think that's what they show is once you get further down there, then the temperature starts rising back up. So then you might have a Megalodon or Godzilla down there or giant squid monster or Mothra or, something. Something interesting that, our arrogant scientists today wouldn't know about because their submarine would get eaten immediately in the first 5 minutes. 38:17. Have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Here's the note. Not to any pope, because they all change the gates of hell into the powers of hell or the powers of death. Matthew 16:18. Hell not only has gates, but it has bars, keys, and doors. John 2:1-9, Revelation 1:18. So that's another slam to the Pope. I think that goes without question with the Pope saying, you don't even need to talk about the Pope. We all know it's a bunch of nonsense. He's a Chicago Pope. Okay. That means he's a gangster or something. What does that even mean? All right. 38:19. Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? Where is the place thereof? Here's the note. It does not say place in relation to light. Apostates simply mistranslated that way because scientists think they know from where the original light came. Notice where it dwelleth. Daniel 2:22. Light does not dwell anywhere here on the earth, solar system, or galaxies. The question was not where can you see different lights or where are the places where you can find light. The question was where is the way in which light dwells? Well, Captain, it it uh it dwells in the warp core. That's how we get the ship moving. That's about my interpretation there. Scientists say they know and they make Star Trek shows and all that. But do they know? They don't know. They say they know. Light reflects or refracts off of a star from 20 million light years away, which means that was 40 years ago. And when that happens, then we can measure the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy, which tells us that Star Trek is real. And not only that, but I'm sorry. I gotta stop. All right. Light. You can't answer the, you study their nonsense for years and you still don't have the answer. And Star Trek is just what it is. It's another fantasy thing, it's not. All right. 38:22. Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow, or hast thou seen the treasures of the hail? I think snow and hail is amazing, and rain. Just amazing what God makes. And then man ruins it, Here's the note. Dr. Schutt says there are $814 worth of nitrate, ammonia, and albuminoid chemicals in an acre of ground that has been covered with 1 inch of snow. What does he mean by that note? I guess I don't know. Does that mean that's like cancer or something? Those are valuable. Maybe those are valuable chemicals there. I mean, I just think the rain and the snow and the wind and tornadoes, I think that's all amazing how that's in our world, but I don't begin to understand those chemicals or anything. What is he saying there? I don't know. 38:23, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war. Here's the note. Second Advent. The time of trouble here is the time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 37. The treasures of the snow and hail, verse 22, have the possibility of becoming bread when needed. Isaiah 55:10. Someone has forgotten that the manna which had to be eaten was like hoarfrost. Exodus 16:14. It will be dumped out again. Micah 7:14 through 15 in the tribulation. Revelation 12:6. Wow, and we were just talking about snow, and how amazing snow and hail is, and then we see that again. We were talking about Disney movies while we were right before the truck. We were talking about. I brought up how Toy Story 5. My coworker was talking about going to see it with her kids, and I brought up how the word is on the street. I listen to the word on the street, and anyway, people on the street are saying that there's a race baiting thing at the end of Toy Story 5. And then she was saying how, my coworker Tina was saying how she watched a video of how old Disney movies subtly put in weird references that could be satanic stuff. And I don't, she seemed to think that was kind of crazy, and I agreed with her. Like, you think about the Disney movies in the 90s, I feel like most of that was pretty wholesome, But there is a biblical, and he wrote a note about that in Sleeping Beauty. That dragon that he kills dumps out a white yellow substance out of his neck, and it looks like snow, and that's actually a reference to the Leviathan. And when one of the heads of Leviathan gets chopped off, I guess that's what happens, is exactly how that Disney movie presented it. So is the same thing going to happen during the tribulation period? Are you going to get manna again? I've had the thought that we're going to see the most amazing, incredible things in that time, because the dispensation will be changing so that you don't see some of the miraculous things that are described in the Bible. I mean, maybe in remote places or in just amazing moments, you'll see something, but for the most part, we don't see like the things that Moses did. Um, well, maybe some of it, but during the tribulation period, do you think you're going to see some of those miraculous, amazing power of God, wrath of God things? And I think we will. And the manna was with Moses. So I think he's right here. It's amazing. And maybe that's how people are going to survive in the tribulation period when, they try to buy something. You can't, because everybody hates me. I'm a white male Christian. Why would anybody give me anything? But if God rained down some manna, I'd be able to survive. Thank God. But hopefully I won't be here for it, but we'll see. Anyway, I got to do one more video. Got a whole page left.